Hello everyone and welcome back to my B&B Everyday YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Rich Forrester to have an extraordinary gift for Taylor Hayes. Meanwhile, Hope Logan urges Brooke Logan to stick around at Forrester Creations. In light of Brooke's treason, Ridge incontinently turned to Taylor. Ridge appreciates the support that Taylor has given him. Of course, Ridge doesn't have all the data, but for now, he appreciates Taylor having his reverse. Right now, Ridge is confident that Steffy Forrester Finnegans will find a way to get them the company back. While Ridge and Eric Forrester don't know what the plan is, they do have full faith in Steffy's capability to negotiate the insolvable. At the end of Wednesday's occasion, suckers watched as Ridge held Taylor's hands. Ridge also mentioned that they've the whole house to themselves. It's also teased that Ridge will have a special gift for Taylor. Just because Ridge isn't at the office doesn't mean he's not working. Ridge has created a gorgeous gown for Taylor. It's also teased that Tridge will partake a fiery kiss, so anticipate full passion by the end of the week. Brooke Logan's retrospection. Brooke will continue to question her direction in life. Brooke is agonized and isn't sure if she really should indeed be at Forrester Creations. Of course, Hope needs Brooke there and in charge to help cover her line. While Carter Walton has made lots of pledges, what if Hope's figures no way do ameliorate? Indeed, if Brooke quit moment, Ridge is still back with Taylor. Ridge is also induced that Brooke is the adversary, so quitting won't change anything for ground. Not only will Hope try to get Brooke to stay at Forrester Creations, but will try to soothe her broken heart too. Now the question is, with Ridge back with Taylor, who'll Brooke's coming man be? Steffy Forrester Finnegan is using notorious perfumer Daphne Rose to get Forrester Creations back. While Steffy thinks she has a great idea, what if there's a twist? What if Daphne gets into Forrester Creations and realizes she's completely on board with Carter Walton's preemption? Could Steffy's operative betray her in the end? Daphne zoomed into Forrester Creations and anticipated everything to move mountains for her. While Carter and Hope Logan were bedazzled by Daphne's incense scent, it also sounded relatively remarkable. Carter did have questions, but he didn't want Daphne to walk out. Moreover, in the end, Daphne is going to get the account at Forrester Creations. Steffy is using Daphne to do some damage to Carter and Hope. Daphne has two operations. The first is to get into Forrester Creations and do some smelling around. Meanwhile, Daphne won't have to get intel alone because Steffy plans on returning to the office. Now, Rich Forrester thinks they should do effects the legal way. Still, Steffy says there isn't enough time. Keep that in mind as we continue on to Daphne's secondary charge. Daphne's secondary charge is to land Carter as her new man. Daphne is supposedly single and looking for someone special. So, Daphne getting some passion might be her price for helping Steffy out. Still, Daphne is formerly coming off as a laddie odd. At this point, I'm not relatively sure if Daphne is being silly, or if that's supposed to be sexy. Staring and blinking rather of answering direct questions, signaling a scarf in people's faces. Yes, I'm sure it smelled veritably nice, but it was still a bit crazy. Perhaps it's all part of her attractive charm. The bold and the beautiful spoilers, unanticipated treason. Now what if Daphne gets in there and actually falls in love with Carter? Daphne and Steffy might suppose she's just playing games with Carter, but there could be a love story there. Going a bit further, Daphne just might start to believe in Carter's vision. What if in the end Daphne ends up turning on Steffy? With an important perfumer like Daphne, could Steffy have just made a huge mistake? At Remy's place, he tells Elektra if she had just felt about him the way he feels about her, the deep fakes would no way have happened. He vows that will no way put his unprintable hands on her again. Elektra knees him in the groin and runs out of the apartment and down the road as he gives chase. At Forrester, Will tells Katie and Ivy that someone is trying to destroy Elektra's life. Ivy says this happened before back home and now it's passing again. They wonder if it's the same person. Will swears to find this Joe and ensure he no way hurts Elektra again. Will textbooks her to let Elektra know she's not fired, but she's not responding. Ivy thinks she's ignoring her phone as she's derangement. Katie feels awful as she should have known Elektra wouldn't pose for those prints. Ivy says she understands that she was caught up in a pure agony but doesn't get why Katie didn't come to her. Katie didn't want Elektra to feel shamed, and it's her body to do what she wants with, so she wanted to keep this from getting out. She hopes whoever did this gets caught. Elektra hides in an alley, trying to get a cell signal. Remy follows her, saying they can still be musketeers if she listens to him. She continues running and eventually gets a call from Will. In the design office, Will gets through to Elektra on the phone and says she's not fired and someone transferred his mama deep fakes. She tells him that it's Remy and he's after her. She sends Will her position and he heads out after her on his motorbike. Remy corners Elektra in a storehouse and begins playing a crooked game of Marco Polo. He says he just wants to explain and tells her to come out. Elektra runs off again and he follows her. Will closes in on Elektra and Remy on his motorcycle. Elektra ends up cornered on a roof by Remy. She tells him not to come near her. Will sees them on the roof and races up as Remy elevation closer to Elektra, who teeters close to going over the roof's rail. Back in the Forrester office, Ivy and Katie bandy how it should be illegal to do what was done to Elektra. Ivy says the apps are so new that the laws haven't caught up. She also explains that the apps also make it challenging to find out who made the images, and people are being destroyed by deep fakes every day. Ivy says they can't let this be to anyone differently, and Katie promises Forrester will put the word out about how dangerous these deep fakes are. In captivity, Luna cries to Bill that the women then are out to get her. She knows she deserves to be locked up, but if she stays then she'll die. She begs Bill to save her. First he needs to know how she killed Hollis and Tom Star. She says she has formerly confessed, but Bill wants the details of how she did it. He tells her to start with Star. Luna says Tom was performing at Il Giardino, and had one of those Turner mugs. She couldn't believe that Bum was her father, and he was going to reveal everything. She flashes back to pouring Presto, acting narcotic grease paint into his drink, and says he collapsed in the middle of his set. Bill asks how she got relief of Hollis, and again he wants the details. Luna says she feels bad about him. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. She explains that Hollis set up Tom's pack, and the letters claiming to be his father. She had to silence him to hide that Bill was her father, and she killed Tom. She recalls poisoning his drink the same way when he was closing the eatery. It didn't take long for it to protest in, and we see him collapse right in front of Luna in a state of confusion. Right before he dies, he realizes it was her who poisoned him. She doesn't understand why Bill wanted to hear this. He tells her, "I suppose you know why." Bill gets up and leaves as Luna cries, "Please, I need you. I'm going to die," and then, latterly, the guards arrive and force Luna into transport chains, as she cries that she doesn't know what she did. She says she's sorry as they lead her through the halls, and she doesn't know what's passing. She's also uncuffed and thrown out into a yard, where she sees Bill standing. She runs into his arms crying, "Thank you," as he holds her.